Those are the top stories. Now let's bring you this one. The dispute between the Johannesburg Property Owners and Managers Association and the City of Johannesburg on millions in backdated refuse charges is set to escalate, with sewer charges now also in the crosshairs. The Joburg Property Owners and Managers Association has lodged a class action lawsuit on behalf of 42 applicants. The city has until the 19th of April to file its notice of intention to oppose this. We're joined now by Angela Rivers, the General Manager of the Joburg Property Owners and Managers Association, just to shed more light on this matter. Angela, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. What's happening here? I mean, I've read a couple of things that talk about backdated refuse charges, but now sewer charges are also in the crosshairs. And then you are representing 42 applicants. What's going on?
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. So yes, there are two cases that we've put forward in the courts. Well, the one has been the one has already been filed, and City of Johannesburg has been issued with the papers, and that is the refuse. In a nutshell, the city Pick It Up has backdated all the refuse charges to 2018, stating that they have every right to bill per unit charge. Historically, they've always charged Pick It Up rates based on the value of your property or depending on how many bins you have. It's very inconsistent. So now they've decided that they are within their power to backdate to 2018 per unit rate, which starts at, in 2018, it was about 89 Rand a unit. Now it is up to 98 Rand per unit. So to give you an example of that in real life terms, one of the applicants in the papers, historically, they've always been billed Pick It Up charges 384 Rand a month. It's social housing, so the rentals start at 1,715 Rand and they're capped at 2,000 Rand. So that's very important, especially in the social housing arena. So now what they've done is they've backdated all these refuse charges to 2018. The new billing going forward is the organization that was paying 384 Rand a month for refuse will now be billed 11,500 Rand per month. Their backdated that the city is trying to get out of them is 480,000 Rand. Now, 480,000 Rand for a social housing enterprise will literally close the doors. I did a little sum when I was for this interview, and I took the rent from the social housing and I added water, sewer, electricity, and refuse, which all tenants will pay for those things. And when you add it all up with the rent that the social housing organization is paying, 45% of this tenant's living expenses will go to city council. So in other words, your rent is 1,700 Rand, but you're paying city council 1,400 Rand to live in that property. These are just extortionate prices.
So who are the as well? Yeah. Are all the 42 applicants in social housing?
We've got two social housing organizations. We've got an old age home, but the majority of them is affordable housing. So we classify affordable housing as anyone who's earning between 3,500 and 8,000 Rand a month. So they don't quite qualify for social housing because they earn too much money, but they're still not earning enough money to pay the extortionate rents that are available out there.
Are these standalone houses or are these complexes? I heard you mentioning an old age home.
Yes, so no, these are basically high-rise properties, what we would call a block of flats. So a lot of the properties that we are dealing with are buildings that are in the inner city that were initially offices and commercial space and have been converted to affordable housing residential properties.
Why has Pick It Up decided to backdate to 2018? Were they not billing for this since then? What happened? What is their reasoning from what you understand, Angela?
So it is, they're only allowed to go back. Well, they said they can go back as far as they want, and they're doing us a favor by only going back to 2018, which is ridiculous. They shouldn't be going back at all. Their argument is that in their tariff documents, they were always allowed to charge a per unit rate. The fact that they didn't do it is irrelevant. They're now going back to fix their mistakes. Our legal argument on this particular case is divided into two, where we're saying in 2018 and 2019, they cannot bill us for that period because their tariff document is very specific that if you are in a UDZ zone, which is an urban development zone, you have to be charged the residential rate. The residential rate is a percentage of the value of your property, which is what they were doing. Somewhere along the line, somebody has picked up that there was this line item within their tariffs stating that they can charge, in those days it was 82 Rand per unit. They've never done it before, but now they've decided to go backdate, and we think it's part of their...
It's part of?
Their revenue enhancement program, which is what the city is calling their program, to try and get as much money out of residents as possible.
It sounds like it. So what's going to happen next?
So now we're waiting for the city to get back to us. There has been another court case from one of our members that went on their own. That came back successful in favor of our client. However, the city has decided to fight that one. But so we just need to wait now for the city to respond, but we're not going to give up. There's this matter, and they've done the same with the sewer. They've gone back and they've backdated sewer to 2018. Our biggest issue that we have with this is there is no way for us to get this money back from tenants. All those tenants have left a lot of people don't live in the same buildings that they lived in 2018 and 2019. And then with COVID, a lot of people had to leave the inner city. So for us to try and find 21 million Rand from tenants that have left these properties is just impossible. It's absolutely impossible.
Okay, thank you very much, Angela Rivers. We'll keep tabs on this one as it develops. She's the General Manager of the Johannesburg Property Owners and Managers Association. Now, residents of